Hey, this is Kaitlyn of Willow and Wonder Co. I wanted to share some of the spring curriculum that I found and we've enjoyed so far. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the future videos that I share. I wanted to share some of the spring resources that I have been putting together. This was a unit I actually got as a part of a bundle, and I will link to everything in the description of this video so that you can find it yourself if you're interested. But this particular unit was really cool. I didn't print most anything. I referenced a lot of it online, but it was a whole unit about Monet. And I loved how they tied in the art side of it. They even include this really awesome breakdown of color theory, so you can dive in if you have an older child who really can understand it. But I know for my 8-year-old, even just having the color wheel for reference has been really interesting. And there was a lot of really great information and resources about Monet, including a book list. These are two that we grabbed from the library that I really liked. But I also liked the science that was able to be tied in. So the unit has a lot of really great ways to use the information that it comes with. So it has recommendations about why you do this art study, the things to pay attention to, different things that you can do, and then lots of links and resources. But it also came with these beautiful illustrations of the water lily, which is one of, Monet's most famous series of paintings is the water lilies. And it comes with actual images of the paintings so that your kids can look at them, you can discuss them. And then it comes with a lot of printables. So I loved that it gave us the anatomy of this water lily, because the Impressionist style of Monet doesn't exactly show all of the detail. So I liked that we were able to really look at what it was. And then my girls colored in their own pictures. So they kind of just looked at the books for inspiration and colored their own pictures. And I had printed out one of Monet's paintings as well. And then we just talked a little bit about the water lily. And then it also talks about the pond, the ecosystem of the pond. So it had this beautiful illustration and information, and it's all numbered. So I really loved that one. And we enjoyed the books, Monet Paints a Day and A Blue Butterfly. These were on the book list, and I found these easily at our local library. We did the unit throughout a couple of days, but both of the books were really pretty to look at. So we kind of used them as inspiration for our own drawings and talked a little bit about the story. So I had shown my girls this printout. You can see it got a little ripped, but they had coloring pages. So my girls kind of looked at the drawings and did their own versions, and we had a lot of fun with it. So that was just a fun spring outdoors thing. We actually sat outdoors and painted for a while, which was fun. So we really liked this unit by Stephanie Hathaway Designs. And again, I'll link to it for you. So this was another unit that I had gotten in that bundle, the spring bundle that I had found. And this one is from withhisgrace.com. And it was all about dragonflies and damselflies. And I actually learned a lot from this. If you noticed, I laminate a lot of resources. So this one, on one side of this, it had all about dragonflies. This side's the dragonflies. This side was all about damselflies. So I just printed it on both sides and laminated it. With this particular unit, it has the facts about each of the flies, the dragonfly and the damselfly. And then it also has the anatomy. So this is the dragonfly, and it has the blank one, and you can use kind of these pieces and grab a piece and, put it next to the label. And then what's great is, again, I printed these on both sides. And so on this side, it has all of the actual correct labels. So, with your child, you can go through and discuss the different parts of the dragonfly and then label them yourself. Again, I just laminated these and cut them out. So there's the Dragonfly, and then they have that for the Damselfly as well, again with the correct terms and everything on the back. And it just came with a Venn diagram. So I just printed this one out, and we use the facts in the beginning because they're very good about comparing the things. For example, dragonflies, do not like to fly near water, whereas the damselflies do. They enjoy a water source. So it was very easy to use the Venn diagram with them. And it had, beautiful illustrations. So again, this would tie into our nature journal because we'll probably try to attempt to draw these ourselves. Wildlife Around Us was a book I think I actually saw on Instagram, and I was in the process of putting together some projects and lessons and units that got us outside more. So I found this one, and I loved that it was not just a guide with some great visuals of the actual birds, and a lot of these where we live are just in our yard. So the girls are always trying to draw them anyway, and I loved that this was a guide for that. So the whole thing is really about the elements of a nature journal, so you can get into that part if you'd like, but also step-by-step guides how to draw the birds. And so I wanted to do just a flip through for you and show you just the inside of this. Again, in the beginning, there is a little bit of information about going out into the fields when you are creating a nature journal of any kind. And then I really liked that it has, supply list, but this was one of my favorite parts, just that it breaks down some of the things that you can encourage them to pay attention to, and then you can go out and identify the birds. And I will say that this particular book, this series, I should say, has there's other books. So it's not just for birds. There's, I believe, lizards and all kinds of different insects, things like that, all kinds of different animals. So I think there was 3 books that I saw, but there's probably more. So it just talks a little bit about bird watching in general, just things to pay attention to, and to ask them about things to look at, size, shape, color, where they might live. And for me, that was really helpful to make sure that we are getting the most out of our time outside. I don't always know what to ask them about, and I have never gone out bird watching myself. So it was just nice to have those reminders. So this is one of the bird pages. And again, it does a good job of kind of identifying some of the most important parts, the features of the bird. But then I love this, it just gives them step by step how much detail they want to add. And obviously, this is going to be a little bit easier for an older child to follow. But I currently have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and my 8-year-old could definitely benefit from all of these steps. I think my 5-year-old might get to this point and kind of do her own thing. But my 5-year-old actually really loves these drawing books with the step-by-step how to draw the animals. So there's just all kinds of really pretty birds in here, and fun facts that you can share with your kids, or just kind of give them the book and let them draw inside. Maybe you can watch some videos if it's not really the season to get outside, depending on where you live. And I am really excited to do this activity with my girls and see how many animals we can draw over the course of the summer. We try to, this is our first year homeschooling, really. So my goal anyway is to try to take some of our time this summer to really slow down, but I want to continue a few of the things we do, like the nature journal. I think it's really good for their brains to unplug and calm and really focus on something. And especially when, like I said, a lot of these birds are ones that we can find in our yard. Like this, we will definitely be drawing hummingbirds. So I hope that was helpful, and I will be doing flip throughs of more books and the different units and curriculum that I find throughout my journey homeschooling.